Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham. This is a jam, but the Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham. This is a jam, but the Ecamm found. This is a jam, but the Ecamm found. It's a jam, but the Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham.
Hold it, stop the music!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Can I please have your attention?
Now showtime, are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham. This is a jam, but the Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham. This is a jam, but the Ecamm found. This is a jam, but the Ecamm found. It's a jam, but the Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham.
Hold it, stop the music!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Can I please have your attention?
Now showtime, are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
I did not plan the timing of that song. That ended at the exact right time. Hey, everybody. Glenn here. I'm streaming to the Ecamm Live beta group. If you're watching there, hello. Hi if you're watching on the YouTube channel, or if you're watching on Ecamm Live Twitter account or the Ecamm Live LinkedIn account. That's right, we're streaming to all 4 places. And full disclosure, I'm a little nervous because this is our first real stream with the public beta. I, of course, have been working on this since March, which was like recently, right? And so to me, it doesn't feel new, but it hasn't been like an actual stream with going out to real channels, with real viewers like you, with real comments streaming in. I'm loving this right now. So thank you for joining us, everybody. This stream is to take you through some of the new features of the public beta, which is now posted on the Ecamm website, ecamm.com/beta, where you can go there, download the latest beta. There's also a rundown of the changes there. If you have a beta already on your Mac that's just kind of been sitting there collecting dust since March, go ahead, open that, hit check for updates, and you'll get the new beta right down to your Mac. Now, what's going on here? Like, why am I here? So just to explain a little bit, this new multi-streaming feature, which is kind of the headlining feature of 4.0, is something that I can't show you while I'm streaming, right? So I can't just like stream Ecamm Live and then show you how to set up a live stream, because it's not a thing. Like it's not something I can. So I have two Macs here, and I'm going to get confused, I know. So I'm streaming to you on my regular Mac, but I have a MacBook Air here that you're seeing around me with the camera plugged in to that. So this is how I'm going to show you the multi-streaming feature. So if I get a little confused here, bear with me. Now, multi-streaming, what does that mean exactly? It's not some new thing we invented. Pretty much every live streaming platform has multi-streaming except Ecamm, so it's something we really wanted to get in there. And what this will let you do is, if you are doing a stream, you don't just have to choose one location. You can pick from all the different platforms Ecamm Live supports. You can schedule out to the platforms that support scheduling, which is Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and I think that's it. And Restream also has scheduling as well. So what that meant for us to add that in there is a pretty big redesign of how Ecamm Live handles streaming, right? Because if you remember, you're all familiar with version 3. It's pretty darn simple. There's just like a picker, and you pick like what platform and where you want to stream to. So obviously that is not going to cut it, because now we have the concept of not only streaming to more than one place, but scheduling to more than one place. So really kind of need to rethink how that works. And what we came up with, we hope you like it. The goal is to make it really simple, to not break that simplicity that Ecamm Live has. And if you're not doing multi-streaming, we don't want to overcomplicate that. We want it to look pretty much like the old version, but even better. And I'll show you why in a second. So let's get into this. All right, so here is the Ecamm Live interface. Oh, wrong computer already. So here's Ecamm Live. I've just got a couple windows open on this little MacBook Air, and I'm not streaming on this computer. And when you open this, you're going to see right away some things that look different. There, you won't see that Go Live button because it's going to default to your upcoming scheduled live broadcast. And you'll see these two new buttons down here, the new button, which is to make new broadcasts, and this upcoming button, which is going to list all of your upcoming live streams. And I'll click this here and show you that. So I think this is really cool. You guys think this is cool? Look at this. So these are all of Ecamm's sort of corporate streams just listed out. And what platform are we talking about? All of them. So this list is new, something you haven't seen before in Ecamm Live. It is a composite list of all of the channels that you have set up, all of those live streams listed out. And you can see that these are just things that Katie and the team has scheduled out going all the way up to August 8th, I guess. So you'll see some YouTube broadcasts here. You'll see some LinkedIn, some Facebook, and look what's happening here. So Ecamm Live, so Anna and Fulgens here did not use, I don't think they used, maybe they did, but they scheduled their ENN broadcast for 7 p.m. today, and Ecamm Live has automatically noticed that they scheduled it on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and it automatically merged that into one event that they'll be able to stream to using Ecamm Live. So how cool is that? And here's another example of the automatic merging of streams. So this is all of your streams. It's in chronological order. And if you want to pick one, and this says in progress, here's the one that I'm doing right now. And I I guess and this only found the YouTube because this Mac over here is not punched up to the other platforms that I'm streaming to right now. So that's why it's only seeing the YouTube broadcast there. And take a look at this is kind of a little hidden right now, but if I click on these little platform icons, you'll see now there's a button to go to the YouTube Watch page, YouTube Studio, and your live control room right from this window. And likewise on Facebook, you'll be able to go directly to the announcement post or to Facebook Producer to, fiddle with your settings and everything. And not much going on for LinkedIn. So LinkedIn scheduling is also now in Ecamm Live. That was not in 3.0. So we have full support for LinkedIn scheduling now. All right, so that is the upcoming broadcast window. We hope you like that. I love it. I just think it's so cool that I can see all my broadcasts in one place. And you're always going to find it down here in the corner. Okay. And as you can see, whatever I pick here, if I pick Anna and Fulgen's broadcast, then it's telling me that it's coming up in 3 hours. And if I click this, it's going to be like, you can't go live 3 hours early. The other big button here is the new button. And this is where we've been putting most of the changes. So I click new, I get this window that's going to look a little familiar because this is just based on the scheduling window that we had in version 3. But it has been really, really improved. You can see here, this is what I was scheduling earlier. And now you can stream to more than one place or schedule to more than one place. So we have this concept of channels that you set up once, and then they will be in your list of destinations forever. So if you need to, the idea is you add in all your destinations just once, and then they're all going to be listed forever. So let's say there's 4 YouTube channels that you stream to on a regular basis. You add all those 4 destinations. They're in Ecamm Live. You can pick one, and you never have to, re-log into YouTube for those channels, blah, blah, blah. They're all just listed out. You can also see the destinations in Preferences. So there's a new section here in Preferences called Destinations. And you can see here are all the destinations that I've set up on this map so far. And you can see some of them are Facebook pages, some of them are YouTube channels, some of them are LinkedIn, some of them are, here's a Facebook group that we use for testing there. You cannot join Twins Club, sorry, it's just for us twins. But anyway, let's say I want to schedule to a couple different places here. I'm going to go add, and let's say I want to stream to Donna's Hummus Hut. I'll pick that, and here's where I can put in my title and description. And I can choose to go live now, which you're probably familiar with, or schedule, and I can add an image, just like I could always do before. Let me find an image here. Where did I put that cool picture? Darn it, I wanted to get it out of the way. Where did I put it? Is this it? Yeah. So I'll put in, put my image in. And there's something else new here. Down here in the bottom, you'll see this required speed. So this is so cool. Ecamm Live can now do a speed check on your Mac, just like going to speedtest.net or Google Speed Test. That is now built into Ecamm Live. And not only that, but it is going to tell you how much bandwidth you need for your stream and tell you whether you're good to go. So right now it's saying, hopefully you can see this because it is kind of tiny on my MacBook Air screen, but it's saying for this stream to Donna's Hummus Hut, I need 5.7 megabit upload speed. But let's say I add this LinkedIn channel, Test Company for Testing. You'll see now it says I need 11.5 megabit per second. So green check mark, I'm good to go. Now, not sure I'm going to be able to show you what happens. So let's say I crank this up to 4K. So now it's 30. Let me see if I can get this to X out. Go to Twins Club. Okay, so now it's saying you need 45 megabit for this, 3 4K streams simultaneously. It's saying X, reduce the stream settings or remove destinations. And I actually have more than 44 megabit per second in this office, but I think the reason it thinks that is because it ran the speed test while I was actually streaming to you guys. So not exactly accurate. You can see it says I have 42.2, 44.2, and I need 45.2. So I'll take out Twins Club and go back. So isn't that cool? Just complete automatic speed checking. So there'll be no surprises about your speed. And you're probably realizing now, like the multi-streaming that we added, it's not cloud-based. So as you add destinations in Ecamm Live, you will need additional upload speed to go through to those platforms, because as you add them, it's just going to be a linear requirement for upload speed. So you can't say like so it maxes out at 10 streams, but you will need enough bandwidth for that. So for 1080, it's about 5.5 megabits per second for a 1080 stream. So you can see this little interface here where we have these pills for each platform, and you're going to be adding them as you're setting up your stream. And if you want to add a new destination, you'll see this window. I'll say let's add a new Facebook group here. I'll go to Facebook, and you'll see that we can actually support now multiple Facebook accounts in the app without having to log out and log back in. So I'll say I want my Facebook account, I want a business page, and I want to add this test page here. Hit add, and now we have that in our list. You'll never need to go through that adding again. It's so convenient. Now, what about YouTube? This is going to look a little different. It's going to ask you for permission to use your Google login, and login happens in Safari or Chrome, which is a lot more convenient because you're not going to need to go through all of the login process that you did before. If your browser's already logged in, you're good to go. And it holds all your multiple accounts. So I can go ahead and pick one of my accounts. It's going to pop me directly back into Ecamm. And now I have yet another account in here. And these things just stay in here forever, which is so darn convenient. You're never going to need to be switching things around, moving things. Everything's just all listed out there. And of course, if you don't want to multi-stream, go back to a nice simple pop-up menu of your destinations. But multi-streaming is so fun. So let's do a couple of these. And as you add platforms, the things you see below here are going to change a little. You're going to see the maximum length of the title change, for example, or you may see scheduling show up or not show up. And you will also notice that there's no way right now to customize your titles directly in Ecamm Live. We ran a little alpha last couple of weeks, and one of the pieces of feedback we got was this need to customize the title. You can't do that on the app right now, but you can schedule out, and you feel completely free to change the title on the platform itself, and that will be fine. So another thing you'll notice here is, let's say I added Twitter or something that doesn't support scheduling. I should have added this in advance. What do I have a no password for here? Well, I just won't bother showing you today. But it's going to tell you down here, an announcement will be created on Facebook, or an announcement will be created on YouTube and Facebook. But it's going to tell you you feel free to add in Twitter in your scheduling like I did today, but it's not going to create an announcement post on Twitter because announcement posts on Twitter aren't a thing. You can just tweet an announcement if you want to. And So that is scheduling. So say I want to schedule out to these 3 here. I'm just going to pick my time, hit schedule, and at that point, it's telling you you're good to go on bandwidth, schedule, and it's going to go out and schedule to all those destinations. And then it's going to show up right in this upcoming list. I don't know why scheduling YouTube takes so long, but it does. So here is my new stream. You can see I got my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and my Facebook group right in there, saying it's at 5 o'clock. And you can see now that we're approaching the time, probably a little tiny for you to see, but the countdown has moved down here, and there's a go live button here. And if I say this, it's gonna, you're familiar with this screen, do you want to go live early? And you can go live early if you want. Now, you will notice that some platforms have different requirements for how early you can go live. And now with the LinkedIn scheduling, you're gonna see that LinkedIn will only let you go live 15 minutes or less early, for example. So Ecamm Live is automatically taking all that into account to make sure you don't do anything that the platforms don't let you do. And I see all the comments coming through, so this is another really cool. Yeah, and I apologize. I've been off in demo land, and I haven't really been. I haven't been looking at the comments. So let me filter by the queue here. Sorry, no, the queues. No, it's not official Ken and Glen Q&A, so we're not doing the queues. So yeah, so that is the new multi-streaming UI. I'm trying to think if there's anything I left out there. And then once you stream to those destinations, Ecamm Live is going to look really similar to the way you're used to, with the addition of the fact that the comments are going to come through automatically from Facebook, YouTube, Restream, and Twitch, and they will just all go into the same list. So let me promote one of these comments so you can see how it looks. So here is a Facebook comment that came through from our beta group. You can see it looks the same as before, but we put a little platform icon there, the little F, to say this is the Johnny Alessant from Facebook. And I must have the thing to automatically hide the comments after 15 seconds. So good question here. We put in a 10 stream limit into the app, and that is primarily just kind of like a sanity thing. There isn't anything special about the 10. We could like go up to 20 or I don't know, but you'll see it stop you from adding destinations at 10. And I've done 10 works fine. And as far as load on the computer, Stanley Carl's asking about the load. It worked great, actually, because it's not actually having to do 10 encodes. It's not having to write 10 files at the disk, anything like that. It is literally just streaming out to 10 places instead of 1. So it's going to put more load on your internet connection. But other than that, it works great. And this is a lot more reliable than streaming services like Restream because there's just fewer moving parts. You know, one of the challenges with those multi-streaming services is, you know, you've got your stream on your computer, it's going up to that service is streaming it out to different places, the platforms are receiving it, and there's just a lot of potential for things to kind of get lost. Where Ecamm Live has that direct connection to each platform, it's pulling the comments directly from those platforms, and it is, in my experience so far, it's just been a lot more reliable. I might be biased though. And TPS reports asking about Restream and an additional Facebook page at the same time. Yeah, you can actually add in Restream to your list of destinations, and that same Restream functionality we've always had is still there. And if you schedule in Restream on the Restream website, it'll show up in that. It'll show up in here in the as an item. I haven't tried pulling in a scheduled Restream and adding it into a scheduled Ecamm Live broadcast. I think it should work. it might get a little confusing because Ecamm Live is also going to see those the items you've scheduled out to the platforms with Restream as like non-Restream items too. So you just want to make sure that like if you start like I don't know what's going to happen if you stream to like say you set up a Restream to like your Facebook channel and your YouTube channel, and then you stream with Ecamm and also it's going to be confusing. But yeah, that should work great. That should continue to work. And Stanley Carl's also asking, once scheduled, is it possible to edit, change the scheduled event, date, time? No, there's no way to change the date and time. If that's something people are looking for, we can certainly investigate that. The problem with that is a lot of these platforms don't have that in their API. So there isn't a way for us to tell Facebook, for example, to change the date of an announcement. It's a lot cleaner to just cancel it and reschedule. But for example, I believe LinkedIn does let you change the time, but not through the API. So it gets a little confusing. And for the comments, this varies by platform. You will see YouTube polling rate is going to vary. YouTube basically tells us how often we can poll. Facebook sometimes will be every like 7 or 8 seconds, but sometimes there'll be a stream of comments coming in. I don't know how they decide whether the stream will work. Twitch is real time, and that because that's like a WebSocket connection, so it really varies. And sadly, we do not have LinkedIn comments in the app yet. So that may be one reason why you want to throw Restream into the mix still, because we don't have the LinkedIn comments coming directly through the API. So I have a question for the audience. So I'm streaming out to 4 places right now. Where are people watching from, and is it actually working in all 4 of those places? Katie is nodding. So I'm a little nervous. So the viewer count is going to be an aggregate viewer count. Let me just quickly show you my screen of my actual computer here so you can see what it looks like while we're streaming. So here is my messy computer screen here. All right, now we're doing a little inception thing. But you can see my comments coming through from all of the various platforms. And you can also see the viewer count. And I'm seeing a little bug here because this keeps alternating between my actual viewer count of 112 and a big fat 0. So I think there must be some bug in this beta. And that is one other thing I want to mention. You might run into like a little issue here and there. Just letting you know. There are a lot of changes in this build. But we're really happy the way it's working so far. All right, so what did I leave out of the multi-streaming, guys? What did I not show you yet? Oh yeah, so as I mentioned before, we have this list of destinations here, and we are handling reauthorization. It's something that if you're familiar with a service like Restream, you're familiar with, like, oh, you know, this channel is no longer authorized, and we'll let you, log back in again without having to remove it and add it again. We also have really nice support for custom stream keys. So if you were a user of stream key stuff previously, you know that Ecamm Live never really did a super awesome job letting you organize all your stream keys. Now this is really nice. Let me show you how cool this is. So if I want to add in a new stream key destination, I just go to here, use an RTMP stream key, and I can give it a nice name, like maybe this is my Amazon Live. And of course, I don't know my Amazon Live, but let's just say it's Amazon, live.amazon.com. My stream key is blah, blah. This has to be RTPS. So this now goes in as just one of your first class destinations. And it's always going to be in your list. If I want to stream to Amazon, pick it here, and boom, there's my Amazon Live. Isn't that just so convenient? Same goes for your Instagram stream key, if you have one of those, you can add it to your destination, set it and forget it, and you always have it there. You can include it in your multi-streams, and you never have to think about it again. So you can see it here now in the destinations list. Amazon Live, I can go back and edit that stream key if I need to, but it is all there for you. Should I check out the questions, Katie? This is a cool one. Will YouTube comments differentiate those who are channel members and show a comment when someone becomes a channel member? I don't think so, but that's a good idea, just like in general, because I'm pretty sure we can see members in the API. Let me write that down. And then yeah, some message for the messages when someone actually becomes a member, there's some nice widgets for that I would recommend, but nothing in the app right now. So Family Cyber Clinic's wanting to know about, with the old beta, local recordings were happening at the same time the live stream is going on. Does this happen for version 4? Absolutely, yes. You have, we still have the concept of that local recording, and that's going to be happening automatically when you're streaming. You don't have to do anything in addition to that. And just like the old version, it's going to be streaming. It's going to be recording at the same size that you're streaming at. Which brings me to something that will likely be a frequently asked question, and it is actually the next one on the list. So right now, we are only doing one encode. So basically, you're going to have to go down to the lowest common denominator for your streams. So whatever you pick in the streaming settings is what you're encoding at and what everything is going to be sent at. So there's no way right now to say, I want to go YouTube 4K and LinkedIn 1080, for example. It's going to say, oh, you're trying to do LinkedIn. You're going to have to stop at 1080. But here's the good news. We have been working on that concept of going at different streaming resolutions. And it looks like something that we'll be able to support, namely because the M1 Macs are really great at encoding on the hardware encoder. And it looks like we'll be able to pull that off without really breaking a sweat. The 4K, okay, I should rephrase that. The 4K does put a little bit of a load on the encoder. You're not going to be, but yeah, we've been testing some of the newer Macs, and it looks like in a future version, we'll be able to get that concept of, I wouldn't call it transcoding, but just multiple encodes where you'll be able to say, I want to send, maybe I want to record in 4K, stream to Facebook in 1080, and stream to LinkedIn or Twitter at 720 or something like that. But right now, it's going to just be one streaming resolution to rule them all. Questions here. Nadim's asking about Instagram. I haven't looked recently. There was some kerfuffle about Instagram adding an official way to get a stream key. There was even like a support article there was literally a support article about how to do it. But then for whatever reason, they must have like pulled the plug, like, okay, we're not ready. And it didn't actually show up. But I suspect very soon there will be a way to get an Instagram stream key. I don't anticipate them adding it to the Instagram API anytime soon, but I think there's going to be just a very simple way to click in, grab a stream key, and paste it into Ecamm. And that's an example of one that's probably going to have a resolution limit on it that you'll have to take into consideration. All right, so that is multi-streaming. Another great question about the delay. This is platform based. There won't be, since we're not going through any sort of cloud-based thing, you're not going to see that delay like you see with Restream. It's going to be, we're streaming directly to the platforms. So this is based on your platform. Facebook usually is about 10 seconds no matter what. YouTube's configurable. back here in the, when I'm setting this up, you'll see that I can actually pick my, my YouTube latency right here in the menu. So if you want it to be more interactive and not have that pausing, you can just say, I want ultra low latency, and it's going to be like about a second, right? Not much at all. And there's also some other platforms might have some latency options, but it's really going to vary based on where you're streaming to. All right, so try out the multi-streaming. Where are you going to stream to? We want to know. Put in the comments how you're going to be using this, where you're going to be streaming to, how many destinations you're going to be streaming to, what's your bandwidth? How do you have enough bandwidth? Do you wish you had more bandwidth? Is the stream, is the speed test working properly for you? Try out that speed test. Dan's asking about, this is just a random question about the UI, that is there a way to hide the finish button while streaming? Yeah, Ecamm Live has a feature where you can hide all the buttons, and since you can see my screen, I can actually show you this. So we have always had the ability to do this in the menus. Window, hide main window controls is just going to zap all your controls, and then you can bring it back. Command tilde here. In the new version that I'm talking about, we've actually added a little button here in the corner that will do the same thing, and when you click it, it's going to say press the function key on your keyboard to bring it back. Okay, I got it. Do not show this message again. And now you can hide and show, and you can also hide and show them like temporarily with that FN key on your keyboard. We've had some reports of that FN key thing not working as expected, and I think there may be something to do with configuration of your particular Mac. I know that there's an option somewhere to indicate what you want that weird FN globe thing key to do, so we might not have that quite sorted out. But let us know how that works for you. And as far as what stream size to, I thought this was going to be about stream sizes. What recommendation do you suggest for less likelihood of streaming freeze? You should never see any freezing with Ecamm Live. If you do, it's always considered a bug. I mean, there could be some interruption for your network, and we can take a look and see, why is my stream freezing? We can see a lot of detail in our diagnostic logs. The most common reason is you don't have enough internet bandwidth. While you're streaming, though, take a look at the bandwidth statistics. Take a look here. If you go, here's my computer now. If you go to the window menu and bandwidth statistics, oh, that's interesting. I'm buffering. But that was cool. I got to show the audience buffering. So this bandwidth statistics screen, we don't really make a big deal about it because we don't want you really obsessing over your big screen of statistics. But you can see this is the graph of the internet traffic going out of your computer. And this little bar graph right here is your buffer. And if your buffer is filling up, that means we are not sending the data out fast enough. It's like you can imagine like someone shoveling a bunch of dirt into a pile, that's the encoding, and then someone else shoveling the dirt out of the pile onto the internet. And if the second person's not shoveling fast enough, that pile is growing and growing. That is your buffer on the Mac. If that's growing, like for a few seconds, that's not really a big deal. That maybe someone's, someone else is hogging the internet or something like that. But if that's growing forever, oh, see, it's growing again. I don't know why, but something's using the network here. So that was okay. But if you are maxing out your connection, you don't want that. That's going to cause your stream to freeze. And M3 Live wants me to say whether or not there is a need for Restream. Restream has there's a few reasons why you might want Restream for multi-streaming. you may not have enough upload speed for Ecamm Live's multi-streaming, because like I said, it uses extra bandwidth for additional destinations where Restream does not, because that's multi-streaming in the cloud. So that is one reason you might want Restream. And they've been hard at work adding all sorts of neat features that you might like, but I'm partial to Ecamm Live. Hi, India. Thanks for your great question. So this is a question about the remote control options and what we've changed with Stream Deck and Loop Deck. Just in case you're not familiar with what those things are, it's all tangled up. I can't show you. Stream Deck and Loop Deck, these control surfaces and this idea of other apps controlling Ecamm Live, we have gone ahead and added, so here's a Stream Deck, just for reference. You'll see this new preference section called Remote Control. So this is going to allow you to manage your what third-party apps are controlling Ecamm Live. This is a good thing because you don't necessarily want random things controlling Ecamm Live. So when you upgrade, when you download the beta, you're going to see the it's going to prompt you to update your Stream Deck plugin and or your Loop Deck plugin, and then you're going to get a prompt that kind of looks like the operating system prompts. Like, do you want this program to, be able to record your screen or use your mic? It's going to say, do you want can Elgato Stream Deck control Ecamm Live? Is that cool? And you say accept, and then it's going to go into this list. And then from here, you can manage what third-party apps are going to control Ecamm Live. You might need to know about this for one important reason, which is third-party apps that may... All right, I think I'm back. So this is timely. If you're watching at home, Paul wants to know, if you lose a connection during a scheduled event, can you restart the same event to continue? We have what I hope is full support. Oh, Jesus. There's something wrong with our internet here. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Can you see me? Am I online? I don't know why it's buffering. Very strange. Cool. Yeah, I don't know, but hypothetically, when a stream gets interrupted, we have full support for re-zooming the stream. Ecamm Live has local knowledge of where you're streaming. You can, your computer crashes, you had a power failure, something just disconnects you. You can just go ahead and, when you open it back up, just like it did before, even if it's multi-stream, it will say, oh, like you were streaming to 5 places before. Do you want to pick that back up? And in most cases, it will stream. It'll pick it back up. Why might it not pick it back up? Facebook is very stingy about like connections timing out. Like YouTube will just kind of keep the stream open indefinitely. But Facebook, I think after maybe like a couple minutes, it's like, I think this person is gone and you can't resume a Facebook stream. But if things haven't expired yet, you can pick it right back up and you're good to go. Comment section, can you comment back? This works pretty well. Only YouTube, Facebook pages, and Twitch let you comment from the app. Facebook groups, for some reason, do not, because Facebook. And of course, if you're streaming with the stream key, there's no comments at all. But so you can see right down here, it's saying add a comment, and then in tiny little parentheses, YouTube. Doesn't indicate like it's only going to send that comment back to YouTube. But if you have, so if all your streaming destinations support it, you can still send that comment back up to YouTube. Spotsia is saying they use Stream Deck and Loop Deck at the same time. It's pretty impressive. All right, so there are a bunch of other stuff in this new version. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but take a look through the change list. There's a ton of new stuff in there that can be tried out and tested. If you are Lee Bird or someone else that has a Blackmagic Deck Link video output, you can now find that in the output menu. If you are a fan of record only, you're going to see that that works a little differently now. I can show you over here on my other Mac. So all this stuff down here, the streaming interface, you're not going to see record only in there right now. We may add it back in if people are like, where's record only? But we have this new mode menu up at the top here. You can see it says stream and record now. If I want to just record, I can pop this off, and then now I have my record only interface. And you can see we also added this handy switch for virtual cam, which is going to power up your virtual cam and your virtual mic, and put this back to both. Now, record only now has a little countdown on the button. You can see 3, 2, 1 before the recording. This has been a feature request for a while, just so like it doesn't record you actually like pressing a button. What else do we got here? Some other minor features here that I will not probably go into. If you are a YouTube or Twitch streamer, go ahead and try this new feature out. So if a mod on YouTube or Twitch deletes a comment, that deletion should come through to Ecamm Live's comment window. Why might you want that? Like, if you have mods deleting comments and those comments are still in Ecamm Live, that's like a little weird. You might not realize that something's been deleted and you might put it on the screen. So go ahead and try that. Delete a comment on YouTube. You should see it change to deleted status in Ecamm Live. Try it out. No audio changes that I can think of just yet, I don't think. No, I don't think we did anything with audio. And another thing I should mention, I don't feel like this beta, that 4.0 is feature complete yet. There's another code branch that's not in here yet for you, that's not ready for public beta testing yet. That includes the enhanced camera switcher, ISO video, and a bunch of other neat stuff that will show up in a future beta. But we really do want to get this multi-streaming out to you to try out. Laura's asking again about the record only. So yeah, the key is this new button up here. Oh, maybe the comment was in the way when I was talking about it. So now that I've moved the comment out of the way, up at the top here, there is a mode menu. There are 3 things you can toggle on and off. There is streaming, recording, and virtual cam. So if you want to just record, go ahead and toggle off streaming, and you'll see that familiar record only button interface there. Now, there's a possibility that's just going to like confuse the living daylights out of people, in which case we can probably like sort of rig it into this new stream window if we need to. Yeah, let us know how this works, what you want to see. What did we miss? What? Yeah, let us know how it looks. Just checking out the comments here, guys. Joel's asking about virtual cameras needing to be reauthorized on the command line. Now that's kind of an old thing. I don't think that's not really something that people need to do anymore now that apps like Zoom have wised up to properly supporting virtual cameras. I don't know the status of WebEx though. Thanks for your comments. Yeah, hold on, but I don't think you're gonna need it anymore. Carlos is suggesting adding record only to the left of the multi-stream toggle. Yeah, so somewhere like somewhere over here, just in case like you're looking for it, like that's what we're probably gonna do, like a little just a little thing saying, hey, like you seem to be looking for record only. Here's a button for it. Yeah, and Eric, get in touch. Like, definitely something weird with that FM button feature. It works fine on all my computers, so it's got to be some setting that I don't have turned on my computers. All right, everybody. I hope you like this new beta. For those of you who are going to try this out and you run into a question or an issue, you can submit that. Either post it in the beta group for the beta community to take a look at, or just feel free to go ahead and contact support if you want to get right through to the development team. Just make sure to mention that you're running the beta. And just in case you tuned in midstream, want to try this beta, go to ecamm.com/beta, and you'll see a button there. And you can actually keep the beta and non-beta versions of the app in your applications folder at the same time. It's not going to mess anything up, which is kind of cool. So it's not like some big commitment like installing Ventura instead of Monterey or something. You can have both and just pick which version, the non-beta or the beta, you want to play with. So that should, I think, maybe help if you're not really sure whether you want to take the plunge or not. You can definitely have both. All right, what did I miss anything, Katie, that you think I should talk about?
Dr. Moderators are on Discord answering questions and chatting more about beta, so anyone else who jump in.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There'll be a ton. I know I probably missed a lot of comments and questions. But yeah, that's important to point out that throughout the next day or so, I expect there to be several live streams, whether they're in the Ecamm Live community, beta group, YouTube, Discord, discussing this, going through the new features with a fine-tooth comb. A bunch of our mods are already more familiar with the beta, and can answer your questions as they come up. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. I hope you like this new build. And multi-stream. Stream to 10 places. Try it out. Thanks, everybody.